So when we talk about a property of a substance or a chemical, we're talking about characteristics that help us identify that chemical. And an important type of property is known by chemists as a physical property. And a physical property is a property that can be measured without changing the chemical composition of the substance we're measuring. So for example, taking the mass of something doesn't change its chemical composition. And physical properties can then be further classified as either extensive or intensive. An extensive property depends on the amount of material, such as length, mass, and volume. So, talking about ice cream, if I have 2 gallons of ice cream, that's more than 1 gallon. So, the more ice cream I have, the more volume it takes up, the more its mass. Intensive property does not depend on how much there is. So for example, if I have 1 gallon or 2 gallon or 3 gallons of ice cream, when I take them all directly from the freezer, they all have the same temperature. And as they melt, when they're finally at room temperature, hopefully that doesn't happen, but if it does, they will all have the same temperature at room temperature, no matter how much there is. So temperature is an intensive property. So let's practice this. Let's take a look at this graphic of iron that was extracted from the cereal and pause the video for a few seconds and see if you can come up with a short list of physical properties of iron and then further classify those properties as intensive or extensive. So this is my short list. I came up with the properties that iron is magnetic. It doesn't change its chemical composition when we test that, and it doesn't matter if I have a small amount or a large amount. It is magnetic, so it's intensive. It's black, its color is intensive, its mass is extensive. I don't know what the mass is, but it has some sort of mass, and it also has a volume, which again I don't know what that value is, but that volume is extensive. And then it is a solid at room temperature, and that is an intensive property. Doesn't matter if there's a little speck of iron or 10,000 kilograms, solid at room temperature. And then iron has a specific melting point or boiling point, and that is intensive since that those temperatures are the same whether we're looking at a speck or 10,000 kilograms of iron.